Hey everyone, welcome back to Crypto Cash. Thank you so much for joining me here. Hope you're having an amazing day. We're taking a look here at TRX, basically Tron. It's been a while since I covered this last, and I wanted to kind of see what's going on because I got a lot of community members here asking, hey, what in the heck is happening with this coin and why is it doing so well? Well, we're going to take a look at some key level Fibonacci support and resistance levels, kind of see what's what's going on there. We'll kind of identify some good profit targets and possibly even some stop loss areas as well, because it's important when you take a trade to always understand which direction it could head. But just know, I'm not a financial advisor. I love teaching people to trade. I hope you can learn something here today. And we're going to talk about a few key strategies to pay attention to when you're trading coins like this here. Okay, so something to preface here, kind of note, if you were kind of stuck with the whole BITGET KYC thing, we got you covered. BINGX is giving away $100 to anyone effectively who wants to register with this link. No volume or deposit required. And you just need to be in the UK, US, Oceania, or Canada, essentially, or Europe, of course, to benefit from that. You can still use the exchange elsewhere, don't get me wrong, but this is our benefit to our community to essentially be able to make sure that you still can trade effectively and find a good benefit there. Because, again, we're going to have copy trading as well as some signals coming through our BINGX, so it's going to be awesome to be able to check that out. Okay, so be sure to reference that in your own time. Link down below. There's only a few slots left available. Okay, so with TRX, what we want to look at here, first of all, is this ascending trend, right? We're starting to see the 50-day SMA work its way up, all right? And that's very common with an ascending type of trend. Keep in mind, this trend line I drew out here is a very long trend line. It's back from November. But if you kind of look at, how well this coin is doing compared to other coins, like say, for example, Bitcoin, it's performing quite well, all things considered, right? It's up a lot higher than most other coins are, so it's doing well. It's definitely something to keep on your radar. But what we want to look at would be, how much further down it could pull back if it were to, and how much further up it could go too. Because when we draw out these Fibonacci retracement levels, this is basically the most recent high or the most recent low, okay? And this gives us kind of perspective on how high it could go. So in truth, the highest point in which we could see in the next few days should be somewhere in the range of 8.7, 8.9. That's kind of like the 2x essentially of where it started from. It already wicked up to its 2x point in this most recent time frame, right there at about 8.5, and got rejected pretty hard. It's a very common rejection point, is the 2x area. What we want to look at here today, though, would be something a little different. We want to kind of look at the most recent low to the most recent high to see how much further it would pull back if it does. Okay. Now keep in mind the most recent high here, this guy right here, this 0.618 Fibonacci level, that'll be a pretty common retracement point that if it comes down that low. But the first one is typically 0.382 here, right here at this level of 8.1. Okay. So let's take a look at smaller time frames here in a moment, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. But that's just something to pay attention to, right? And again, I'm not just drawing random lines on the charts. This is an obvious area of a point of contention where the price had difficulty passing. And once again, coincidentally, it lines up perfectly with a Fibonacci level. So we're above 70 on the RSI. This could work out positively. A lot of times when you break above, this will work as a support level and it might actually bounce. So we want to pay attention and see if we can wait for that. So if you have a long position open right now, doesn't necessarily mean you want to sell it, okay? It just means that you want to pay attention and identify, maybe even adjust your stop loss higher to maybe the 0.5 level, like 7.9, or just say round number 8 cents even. Okay, that would be a good area that I would consider. Now, taking a look here at the convergence on the MACD, we can see this is pretty strong. Came down to diverge and just turned itself right around. So we got strong momentum to the upside, which is very positive. And once again, we're above the 20. The 20 was basically a bouncing point there for the moving average. And of course, the 50 is working its way up too. Okay, so you could even draw out a kind of an ascending type of trend based on this here and kind of see what's going on. We are holding that 20-day SMA initially very strong, okay? So that's a good sign. Mostly bullish on the daily. There's really nothing disadvantageous there. This is where things get interesting, though, when you look at the 4-hour, because we have potential for a significant pullback here. We take a look at TD sequential, we overextended ourselves to a 9 plus 12, roughly. So we're really in the situation where the price shouldn't have went that high. It probably should have pulled back here, and it would have consolidated a little nicer. Instead, it had this violent little push, and then the price comes down again. Very standard. But keep in mind, this 0.382 Fibonacci level is the first support range that we have. If we lose that, secondary would be the 0.5 here at about 8 cents. So to me, in a lot of cases, when you have these parabolic type of pushes, 0.5 is the most common retracement area that you'll find. And that puts us right here at, again, 8 cents even. So my speculation is that we're going to have a decent amount of support right between the 0.5 and 0.618 Fibonacci retracement levels. Okay. So if we do lose this tentative support at 0.382 there, at like 8.129, then there's a good chance we'll see the price average itself out right there in that range, mainly because that's a previous resistance zone, as well as 0.5 being a very common retracement level. Yeah. Again, these are just common numbers that occur frequently in trading. It's nothing to kind of overthink too much. It's nothing really crazy. It's just it's kind of the way that things work. Things tend to have a tendency of gravitating towards certain areas. So if I were you and you were just have a long position open, consider maybe taking some profit right now. Let the rest ride, because there's a decent chance we'll see the price come down and bounce off this level, which was again that nice 20-day SMA level, but also a Fibonacci retracement. So 4 hour tells us we lost 70 on the RSI. That's pretty standard. Can only maintain that level for so long. We're coming back down. If the price were to pull down to that, just say 8-cent mark, there's a good chance we'll see a bounce off 50 on the RSI. That's a common support level. So we're going to pay attention to 50 on the RSI and kind of keep that on our radar. We also want to look at the moving average correction. Yeah, the MACD, basically this, the exponential moving averages, that's what this is. The 12 intersecting with the 26 in a downward fashion. If and when that occurs, we could actually see that continue lower. So if we do lose that level at 0.618, 0.5, then we're going to see the price action probably diverge. But there's a good chance we're going to see the price do one of these where it converges, bounces off that lower level, and effectively continues higher. So keep in mind, this has potential to continue to run. We're just early into this range here, right? We're 1 4-hour candle into a potential of 9 candles deep, right? So I'm going to speculate here. If Monday comes around, we're looking good here. I'm going to set an alert here, probably for the range right here at about, what is that, 0.785? Let's just do 0.8. I like the 8-cent range there. Let's go ahead and put it right there and kind of see. Because I'm going to reevaluate once the price comes down to that level if it does, and then we can consider taking a long position potentially as a community, and just generally kind of consider taking a long there. Again, I'll reevaluate at the time. It doesn't mean just because it comes down that level I can get in, but there's a good chance it will be ready and poised for that level once that occurs. Again, if that happens, it may just bounce and continue higher right now. You never truly know, but I prefer to kind of wait for confirmation, and with us just starting this initial downtrend, it's probably best to hang tight and to see what happens here soon, especially with this being a weekend. Volatility is always a little strange on the weekends. But if we look at the 1 hour, we are basically five full-on candlesticks, plus more obviously, but roughly about 5 hours into this continuation of the downside. So we have about 4 more hours before the price starts to naturalize itself at the level, typically that 0.5 Fibonacci retracement level. So I think we're going to see that happen here soon. Furthermore, Ichimoku Cloud, we can see we have all green lights here essentially to leave our position open, but as you can tell, this lagging span is coming close to the price action. That's a conservative indicator telling us, hey, you may want to consider closing your long position or essentially trimming some profits. So you, in truth, probably should have taken some profits by now. I know it's easy to say in hindsight, but when you're well overextended above the RSI on the 1 hour, that's a really important thing. As soon as the RSI crosses over this level, that's a case in point where you want to consider taking profit. Typically an area in which I pay attention to. I like it on the 15-minute as well. The 15-minute time frame gives us good indications for those selling targets as well. But generally speaking, the 1 hour is really good about that. Because again, we see this, take a look at this here with our CC golden indicator. It tells us when we're overextended and when you should consider taking profits. So it pretty much told us to sell at the highest point, which is good. That's kind of what it's designed to do. Again, this is available on our homepage if you want to consider purchasing that. But generally speaking, I love being able to wait for confirmation, and that indicator really helps confirm that for us. So generally speaking, at this point, with what we're looking at here, I feel like we're going to see a pullback towards basically the 8-cent mark, as well as potentially 7.8 to fill that little bit of a gap there. And then that's just kind of a fair value there, and the price will likely bounce off of that. So I'm just going to go ahead and wait for that alert to trigger. If it does, great. If it doesn't, congratulations to whomever is still holding on here. So again, that's kind of where we're at there. Hopefully that made sense and it was clear and concise. One last thing too, we are running a promotion here, $50,000 prize pool for our BITGET affiliation. So if you used our link down below to register, you're automatically eligible for that. Go ahead and jump right in. We've got 8 days left to qualify. And if you are new, of course, feel free to use my link down below to register, because that's the only way to be eligible for competitions like these. We typically have these once every other month. Same thing with BINGX, but we got to get a little bit more new members here over, which is why we have this benefit for the first 100 users. All right, cool stuff there. Be sure to check that out. Thanks again so much for your time. We look forward to working with you. Have a great rest of your day and a wonderful weekend. We'll see you soon.